one thing I've learned as an Israelite, yeah, we've got to keep the commandment. I was tired of being fed up, so I got the Bible and opened it up, yeah. And I saw that I was living wrong, wilding out, yes I was. Now I do my best to follow these laws, oh yeah. And I decided I'ma stop playing games. I don't wanna be the same like I used to be, oh no. I'ma change my life, I'ma do things right, yeah. And even when it's hard, I gotta be faithful like it is to me. I'ma do my best, so I'ma do my best to keep the commandment.
Shalom, everybody. What's good?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Say it one more time. What's good?
Yeah.
That's right. Y'all still sound kind of dead though. If y'all was in Sunday church, how would you say it? What's good?
Yeah.
Came on and broke out.
Still dry, but okay. All right. We're going to go over these commandments today. But you know me. It's a little bit not what you expected. Let's get this first script, James chapter 2 and verse 10. James chapter 2 and verse 10. So we're going to read these commandments and I'm going to ask y'all some questions as we're going. Go ahead.
James chapter 2 and verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law.
Shall do what?
Shall keep the whole law.
Whosoever shall keep the whole or entire law. Read.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
He is what?
He is guilty of all.
How is this? Anybody? How if you break one, you pretty much break all of them? It's not a trick question either.
Package deal. You got to buy all of them.
Okay.
On these two, hang all the rest.
That's a good point. Go ahead, Art.
Can't pick and choose.
Absolutely not. Right. Right. Anybody else? Read that again, Art.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
So if you offend in one point, you are guilty in all. So we got, you can't pick and choose. It's a package deal. What you say, Ron?
You said on these two, hang all.
On these two hang all the laws and the prophets. Okay. Let's go to the commandments. Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1.
If I might add, it'll really help if you recited these commandments every day before you left the house, when you gotta, as just a reminder of what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, just throw that out there. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make unto you any graven image.
Stop right there. So it says, read the verse 2 again.
I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Go ahead.
You shall have no other gods before me.
You shall have no other powers before me, no other God before me. Did Adam break this commandment? You say yes? Who say yes? Everybody, okay. Read on.
You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shamayim above or that is in the earth beneath.
Stop right there. According to your understanding, did Adam break this?
Yes.
He broke this. So Adam made a graven image.
Yes.
He didn't physically make one, I don't think. He chose one.
Okay. So, where do y'all stand at? Because I'm kind of throwing me off. Did he break this commandment or not?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And nothing that I'm asking is trick questions. All right? I want y'all to know that off the top. Nothing is a trick question. It's straightforward is what I'm asking. Read on.
Verse 5. Let me read verse 4 again. You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shamayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth.
Go ahead.
You shall not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them. For Yahuwah our El is a jealous El.
So right here, did Adam break this? Did he bow himself down to another God?
Yes.
Y'all emphatically say yes?
Yes.
Y'all sure?
Yes.
Okay. Read on. You say no? Okay.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Read on.
You shall not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain.
Right here. Stop right there. Did Adam take the name of the Most High in vain?
Yes.
Y'all sure?
Yes.
Tell me how. I just want to pause for a minute. And somebody tell me how he took his name in vain.
You didn't obey him.
Put somebody ahead of him.
Okay. All right. Read on.
You shall not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it Kodesh. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah your El.
Right here. Stop right there. Did Adam break the Shabbat?
No.
He didn't break the Shabbat? You sure?
Based on the scriptures we read first, he did break the Sabbath. You break one, you break one. So yes.
How? Tell me
She
how.
said it's a trick question now.
It's not a trick question.
She said, I know it's a trick
It's
question
not
now.
a trick question. Nothing is trick questions. It's not to trip you up or nothing. It's
Okay, no.
great book. So tell me how he broke this.
He broke the first commandment. He said he didn't, it was Most High said, but he broke them all.
So specifically the Sabbath.
Right.
He broke. How did he break specifically the Sabbath?
He did not.
Sure.
He did not.
So he did not?
He did not.
Okay.
What
Come
day
on.
was wrong when he
He
broke it?
said,
All right, go ahead, throw it out there.
I guess one could look at it, they were already in a state of perfect rest that he disrupted when he sinned.
I like that. I like that.
Good answer. Good answer.
How many of y'all was thinking that?
That's like the Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
State of perfect rest. Already. The last thing he did was bless the Shabbat. And they were already in a state of perfect rest out of the mission.
Okay. Read on. We're going to go through them, though. We're going to go through and break everyone down.
But the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah Yael. In it you shall not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made Shamayim and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the Shabbat day and hallowed it.
Go ahead.
Honor your father and your mother.
Did Adam break this commandment?
Yes.
How so? He didn't have no mom and daddy.
Yes, he did.
Who was his mama?
All right, read on.
You shall not murder.
You said what?
You shall not murder.
Who did Adam kill? How did he break this? Read on.
You shall not commit adultery.
You said what?
Not commit adultery.
Did Adam break this? How so? All right. Read on.
You shall not steal.
You said what?
You shall not steal.
Did Adam break this? All right, read on.
You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor.
You shall not bear false witness. Did he break this one? So did he bear false witness?
Was it
on
false?
Or did he do it?
Was it a false witness?
You gave it. It's the woman that you gave me. See? Did he lie?
Well, he's supposed to stand up for what she did, because he the head.
That's his decision. He made it sound like he was forced. It was like he had no choice.
No, did he bear false witness right here against his wife?
Yes.
So he lied on her.
Go ahead, Alex.
In the act of taking the fruit, he bear false witness against the wrongdoing. So when he took the fruit, he basically co-signed that what she was doing was okay.
Okay, we'll go with that. We're coming back to everything though. Read on.
You shall not covet your neighbor's house.
You shall not do what?
Covet your neighbor's house.
Matter of fact, finish it all the way out.
You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's.
Did Adam break this?
Yes.
How so?
Because he wanted something that wasn't his.
Okay. He wanted something that wasn't his. All right. Let's go back. Exodus 20:1. Let's go back and go through it. Go ahead.
Shemot chapter 20 and verse 1.
Now remember what y'all said. Y'all already put y'all answers in the stone of air. Ain't no taking them back. Read.
And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah your Elohim, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other powers before me.
You shall have no other power before me. Let's get John chapter 8 and 34. John chapter 8 and 34.
John, or Yehukanan, chapter 8 and verse 34. Yahushua answered them, truly, truly, I say unto you, whosoever commits sin is the servant of sin.
Is what?
The servant of sin.
So Adam did what? When he committed a sin, therefore he was the what?
Servant of sin.
Verse 35.
And the servant abide not in the house forever.
Read that again.
And the servant abide not in the house forever.
And the servant abide not in the house forever. So we know that they was in the garden perfection. After he did this, what happened to him? He got the boot. He got kicked out. Read that 35 again.
And the servant abide not in the house forever, but the son abide ever.
But Hamashiach abide forever. Give me Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 7.
Get it out of here. Get it out of here, my son. Rip through my joint.
Bereshit chapter 3 and verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open.
They were what?
Were open.
The eyes of them both were open. Read.
And they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Matter of fact, jump back to verse 5.
Verse 5. For Elohim do know that in the day that you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods.
You shall be what?
You shall be as gods.
You shall be as gods. Read.
Knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat.
Read.
And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked.
And they what?
And they knew that they were naked.
Automatically, right here, they understood that they are naked because they did what?
Eyes got open.
How did they know that they was naked right here? All right. Give me Revelation 16. Revelation 16.
Revelations chapter 16.
And verse 15.
Hazon chapter 16 and verse 15. Behold, I am come as a thief. Blessed is he that watch and keep his garments.
And what?
And keep his garments.
Go ahead.
Lest he walk naked.
Lest he do what?
Lest he walk naked.
Lest he walk naked and what?
And they see his shame.
And they do what?
And they see his shame.
So when they got caught sinning, what did they do?
Saw their shame.
Saw their shame because they did what? They tried to hide themselves. So he's showing when you get caught in sin, the first thing you do is you try to cover it up. Because you're ashamed, because you're trying to hide it. Matthew 6 and 24.
Matthew or Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
No man can do what?
No man can serve two masters.
You can't serve two masters. It's either one or the other one. Read.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
So, did Adam hate the Most High? No. Read that again. According to this, read it again.
No man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one.
He will do what?
Hate the one.
He will hate the one and do what?
And love the other.
So, when he disobeyed the Most High and obeyed the other one, what does this show?
Hatred.
Read that again.
No man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and mammon.
All right, so we see Adam is guilty of breaking the first commandment. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 20. Pick it up where we left off at.
Shemot, or Exodus chapter 20 and verse 4. You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shamayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For Yahuwah your Elohim is a jealous El.
Is a jealous El. So again, how did Adam break this? Anybody? Because everybody agreed that he broke it, but how?
With his wife, she had said before no time.
By him obeying his wife, he really didn't have to, but he chose to do it because she did.
But
He knew he was getting that. So
how would this like go into? This commandment is about idolatry, right? That's what this is about. Get Philippians 3. Philippians chapter 3 and verse 19.
Philippians chapter 3 and verse 19. Whose end is destruction, whose Elohim is their belly.
Whose what?
Whose Elohim or God is their belly.
Whose Elohim or God is their what?
Belly.
Is their belly. So they was at the tree to do what? To eat something, right? Read that again.
Whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly.
Whose God is their belly. Read.
And whose glory is in their shame.
Whose what?
Whose glory is in their shame.
Whose glory is in their shame. Read.
Who mind earthly things.
How did they mind earthly things? Somebody, how did they mind earthly things? Okay, let's get Genesis chapter 3 and 19. Genesis chapter 3 and 19.
Bereshit chapter 3 and verse 19. And the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground, for out of it were you taken. For dust you are, and unto dust shall you return.
So since you didn't want the heavenly, you reverted back to the earthly. Because this is where he was taken from, and this is where he ultimately is going to go. Jump back to verse 3. Genesis 3 and 3.
Bereshit chapter 3 and verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree, which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.
Unless you what?
Lest you die.
So when you eat of it, you're going to what?
Die.
You're going to die. So this is how you mind earthly things. Finish that out.
And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. For the Most High do know, in that day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So they fell for the okie doke, and you minded earthly things. And since you was taken out of the earth, you're going to go back to this earth. Let's go back to Exodus 20. The image that he actually created is not a physical one, is actually in his mind, because he was envisioning being like the Most High and being just like him. So he didn't create a physical image, like you were saying. He didn't create a physical image or likeness, but he envisioned his own self being and looking just like the Most High. That was the idolatry on his own self. That's why when you about to get something new, you always do what in it?
See yourself in it.
Exactly. You picture yourself in it. Oh man, when I'm lifting weights, I can already envision in 6 months I'm gonna look like exactly. Right. So he envisioned this. He didn't physically do it, but he mentally done it. Again, you always picture, boy, when I get that new this and that, I'm gonna be killing him, right? Did it in his mind, spiritually. So Exodus chapter 20, verse 6.
Exodus 20 and 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of Yahuwah your El in vain.
You shall not take the name of the Most High in vain. Again, how did he take the Most High's name in vain? Anyone? Okay, not honoring what he said. Any scripts from my scholars?
Where you at, Pete?
Give me 1 second, I'm on it. No Esau.
My Ak ain't no Esau prophet. Don't put that on him. How did Adam take his name in vain? And what does vain mean?
Bring it to naught.
So what?
Bring it to naught or bring it to ruin.
Bring it to naught or bring it to ruin. You got anything for me? Go ahead.
No, not a script, though. Not a script. Yes, a script.
Let's see what your philosophy is.
Hit it with the philosophy.
He told him that eating of the fruit would cause death. When he ate it and then immediately died, he no longer believed. So he brought basically his belief to nothing because he didn't die immediately.
Okay. What you got, Pete?
One I was thinking of was Proverbs 39. Lest I be full and deny thee and say who is Yahuwah, or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of Elohim in vain.
That's a good one. That's a good point you got too. Let's get it. So let's get Psalms chapter 52 and verse 9. Hamashiach is the name.
Psalms or Telahim chapter 52 and verse 9.
So when he says don't take my name in vain, it's basically saying don't take the Messiah in vain.
Absolutely.
Read.
I will praise you forever because you have done it. And I will wait on your name.
I will do what?
I will wait on your name.
I will wait on your name. How do you wait on a name? Unless it's somebody. So he says, I will wait on your name. Hamashiach, exactly. It's not, you can't, oh, they're going to YHWH in the air. No, it's not talking about that. Read that again.
I will praise you forever because you have done it. And I will wait on your name.
I will wait on your name. But where is the name coming from? Let's get Isaiah 30 and 27.
Isaiah or Yeshayahu chapter 30 and verse 27. Behold, the name of Yahuwah come from far.
Wait a minute. Y'all come from far or what comes from far?
The name of Yahuwah come from far.
So you got to wait on the name because the name is doing what?
Coming from far.
So the name is coming from a far place. This is how he took the name in vain. We're going to see in a sec. Get me Isaiah 60 and verse 9. Isaiah 60 and verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 9. Surely the owl shall wait for me.
Shall do what?
Shall wait for me.
Surely the owl shall wait for me. Read.
And the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your sons from far.
So we're waiting on Hamashiach, because he was the tree of life in the garden. Let's see. Because he told them they can eat from any tree in the garden except for the other one. Right? So if Adam would have ate from this tree, he would have had what? He would have had eternal life. But he wanted the other one. Give me John chapter 3, verse 15. John chapter 3 and verse 15.
John or Yehukanan chapter 3 and verse 15. That whosoever believe in him should not perish.
Should not what?
Should not perish.
But have what?
But have eternal life.
So if you eat from the tree from the tree in the midst of the garden, the good one, not the other one, you would have what?
Eternal life.
You would have eternal life. Read.
For Elohim so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish.
Should not what?
Should not perish.
So when Adam ate from the other tree, what did he show?
He didn't believe.
He didn't what?
He didn't believe.
He didn't believe. So he went and ate from the other one. Man, I can just imagine how the Most High was feeling about this stuff. Because he actually going against everything. In one action, he actually went against everything.
Absolutely.
John chapter 6, verse 51.
John or Yehukanan chapter 6 and verse 51. I am the living bread.
I am what?
I am the living bread.
Read on.
Which came down from Shamayim.
Go ahead.
If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever.
He shall do what?
He shall live forever.
Wow. Flat out. You can eat from any tree in here and you will live forever if you eat from this one. But if you eat from this one, you're surely going to die. He didn't believe this. He went off and did the foolishness. Which we can look back on it and say, I would have never did that. You know what I'm saying? Jump down to verse 54.
Verse 54. Whoso eat my flesh and drink my blood have eternal life.
Have what?
Have eternal life.
They have eternal life. Read.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
John 3 and 36.
John chapter 3 and verse 36. He that believe on the Son hath everlasting life.
He have what?
Hath everlasting life.
He have everlasting life. Adam had access to everything. Everything. And did not believe. His actions showed that he didn't believe. He could say it all he wants, but his actions showed, I don't believe. And he was right there with him. This what really makes it bad. Adam was seeing everything in its perfection. No sin. Adam was there when it wasn't no sin, period. He was right there. And he didn't believe. This is why he was telling Thomas that it's great because you see me. But it's even greater with the other people that don't see me and believe. Adam was right there and didn't believe. His actions showed this. Now, don't nobody take it and say, I'm saying Adam going to hell. I ain't saying that. I'm just showing something. I know they're going to come up. They didn't say Adam going to hell. Like, no, I didn't say that.
You know the mail is about to come at you hard, brother.
Exactly. Trying to chop it up in school and say, see, look, right there, he just said it. No, I did not say that.
Make sure I put it on video. We ain't saying that.
Exactly. So, this is how he broke that one. Let's go back Exodus chapter 20. And verse 8.
Shemot chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it Kodesh. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work.
Now what is Shabbat for?
Rest.
It is for rest, right? Okay. The rest from what? Work. The rest from work. Read on.
But the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah your El. In it you shall not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor the stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made Shamayim and the earth.
Now remember in the beginning, right? Adam named all the animals and everything, right? So if Adam was at a rest, then what would the animals and stuff be at? They would be at a rest as well, right? So how old did Adam live to be? 938 years old. He didn't make what? He didn't make 1,000 years. Let's get Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. Revelation chapter 20 and 4. Remember, Adam was where we're trying to get. He was in the garden already. We're trying to get back in the garden.
Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahusha, and for the word of Elohim, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their forehead or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years.
How long?
1,000 years.
1,000 years. Adam didn't make the 1,000 years because he did what?
Sin.
He sinned. Give me Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16.
Bereshit chapter 2 and verse 16. And Elohim made 2 great lights. The greater light.
You in one.
Oh, true. My bad, y'all. What they say, Salakia. Alright, Genesis chapter 2 and 16. And Yahuwah, Elohim, commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat.
You may what?
You may freely eat.
You may freely eat. You can even eat from this one. And you will be like me. You will live forever. Read.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it. For in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
You shall surely die. So he didn't make the 1,000 years to reign with the 1,000 years to be in perpetual rest. Let's see what's Adam working. Jump back to verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the generation of the Shamayim and of the earth, when they were created in the day Yahuwah Elohim made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahuwah had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground.
Go ahead.
But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground.
So did Adam do any work right here? It was all done for him. Everything was done for him. He did nothing.
What verse you at?
Verse 7.
Keep going.
And breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden.
Who planted it?
And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden.
Wow. All Adam had to do was go out there and eat. He didn't do no work. The Most High did all the work for him. Everything is done. Go ahead.
And there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahuwah to grow every tree.
Who made it grow?
Yahuwah And out of the ground made Yahuwah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Tree of knowledge of good and evil. Get me Hebrews chapter 4. We're coming back to Genesis. Hebrews chapter 4. And pick it up at verse 1.
Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 1. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left of us entering into his rest.
Doing what?
Lest the promise of us entering into his rest.
Go ahead.
Any of you should seem to come short of it.
So he said, let us therefore fear. By Adam doing what he doing, did he fear him?
No.
Absolutely not. Read on.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them.
As well as unto them. Read.
But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
Go ahead.
For we which have believed do enter into rest.
We do enter into rest. Adam was born into it. Read.
And he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world.
The works were what?
Were finished from the foundation of the world.
The works were finished from the foundation of the world. Again, Adam didn't have to do nothing. Read.
For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise. And Elohim did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest.
Go ahead.
Saying therefore, it remained that some must enter therein. And they to whom it was first preached entered not in.
They did what?
Entered not in.
Because of what?
Because of unbelief.
Because of what?
Unbelief.
He didn't believe. So he partook in the other tree. He actually was in the rest and got kicked out of the rest. So soon as Adam did what he did, what happened? Let's go back. Genesis chapter 3. Say it loud.
He had to work.
He had to work?
He had to work.
He had to work. Genesis 3 and 17.
Bereshit chapter 3 and verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife.
Because you listened to your wife. What happened?
And have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake.
What?
Cursed is the ground for your sake.
Cursed is the ground for your sake. Read.
In sorrow you shall eat of it all the days of your life.
Before it just came up on its own. Go out and eat. Read.
Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to you.
Go ahead.
And you shall eat the herb of the field.
Go ahead.
In the sweat of your face.
And what?
In the sweat of your face.
That means you working. You got to work to get it now. Since you broke the rest, get out there and plow. It ain't going to be easy for you now. Go work to get it. Read that part again.
In the sweat of your face.
In the sweat of your face. Read.
Shall you eat bread till you return unto the ground.
Until what?
Until you return unto the ground.
Before this, he had it easy living. Everything just like, this is why we're trying to get back to the garden. He had it easy. Nothing. He didn't have to work at all. All he had to do was just go out and get it. He didn't have to go and dig and do none of this. It just came up on its own. But he messed it up. Isaiah 48 and 22.
Isaiah chapter 48. What verse you said?
Verse 22. Isaiah 48 and 22.
Isaiah 48 and verse 22. There is no peace, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked.
What's another word for peace?
Shabbat, rest.
Rest. Because he did this, he had to work every day in order to eat and do everything. He had to get out there and work and physically do it. Because he broke it. Let's go back to the commandments. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12.
Exodus or Shemot chapter 20 and verse 12. Honor your father and your mother.
Do what?
Honor your father and your mother.
Honor your father and your mother. Read.
That your days may be long upon the land which Yahuwah your Elohim give you.
So, again, how did he break this? How did he break honor your father and your mother? Y'all saying it, but not with confidence. I can't even hear you. Absolutely. All right. Let's get, so he says, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which Yahuwah your power giveth you. Let's get Malachi 1 and 6.
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 6. A son honor his father.
A what?
A son honor his father.
A son honoreth his father. Read.
And a servant his master.
Go ahead.
If then I be a father.
If I be a father, what?
Where is my honor?
Where is my honor? Read it from the top again.
A son honor his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor?
Where is my honor? Why did you honor the other guy over me? The one who gave you everything, you honored him over me. You didn't listen. Finish that verse out.
And if I be a master, where is my fear?
Where's my what?
Where is my fear?
Where's my fear? He showed he didn't fear because he broke it anyway and he knew better. So he showed, I don't fear you. I don't even believe you. His actions show, I don't fear you and I don't believe you. That's why he did what he did anyway. All right? Give me John 8 and 44.
John chapter 8 and verse 44.
Thank you.
You are of your father the devil.
You are what?
You are of your father the devil.
He told you, if you can't serve two masters, you're going to either love one and hate the other one. Right? Did Adam serve the Most High? He served the other guy, right? Read that again.
You are of your father the devil.
So anytime you go off and sin, who is your father? The devil is your father. A lot of people don't like that and say, no. But this is what it's saying, not me. It said, you are of your father, the devil. Read it again.
You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your fathers you will do.
And the what?
And the lust of your father you will do.
And the lust of your father you will do. At the end of that verse?
No.
Keep going.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was what?
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a murderer from the beginning. Read.
And abode not in the truth.
And abode what?
And abode not in the truth.
And abode not in the truth. So, let's go back to Exodus chapter 20 and 12.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land.
If he would have listened to the Most High, what would his days have been? Long upon the land. It wouldn't have been no end to it. So if you honor your father and your mother, your days shall be long upon the land. He didn't listen, so his days got cut short. One action. All of this comes out of it. Let's go back. Exodus 20 and 13.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 13. You shall not murder.
You shall what?
You shall not murder.
You shall not murder. Who did Adam murder?
His family.
Good answer. Everybody. Everybody that ever died. Let's see. Romans chapter 5. Absolutely. Romans chapter 5.
Romans.
Pick it up at verse 8.
Chapter 5 and verse 8. But Elohim commanded his love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Hamashiach died for us.
He did what?
Hamashiach died for us.
He died for us. Read.
Much more than being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him.
Through what?
Through him.
So everything that Adam went and done, Hamashiach reversed it. Read.
For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to the Most High by the death of his Son, much more, being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life.
Go ahead.
And not only so, but we also joy in Elohim through our Master, Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom we have now received the atonement.
Go ahead. And as we just coming out of that, read.
Wherefore, as by one man sin enter into the world.
By one man what?
By one man sin enter into the world.
By one man sin entered or came into this world. Read.
And death by sin.
And death by what?
And death by sin.
And death by sin. Read.
And so death passed upon all men.
He did what?
Death passed upon all men.
So Adam right here, when it says, and thou shalt not kill, he actually killed mankind. Not only physically, spiritually as well. Until Hamashiach came along and actually reversed this thing. Let's go back. Matter of fact, give me Ezekiel 18 and 20. Ezekiel 18 and verse 20.
Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse 20. The soul that sinned.
The what?
The soul that sinned.
The soul that sinned. Read.
It shall die.
It shall what?
It shall die.
It shall die. Because he told him in what's the name, right? Give me Genesis 2:17. He said, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. Genesis 2:17.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it. For in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
You shall what?
You shall surely die.
So the soul that sinneth, it shall die. Because what? Read that again.
But the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it. For in the day that you eat thereof, you shall die.
You shall die. So this is how he broke this one. Let's go back to the commandments. Exodus 20 and 14.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. You shall not commit adultery.
You shall what?
You shall not commit adultery.
How did he break this one? Spiritually, right? So he broke this one. Get me Jeremiah 7 and 9.
Or Yirmiyahu chapter 7 and verse 9. Will you steal?
Will you what?
Will you steal?
Read.
Murder? And commit adultery? And swear falsely? and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after another god.
So all of these things, he just mentioned some of the commandments in that. Read it again.
Will you steal?
1,
Murder?
2,
Commit adultery?
3,
Swear falsely?
4,
And burn incense unto Baal?
and burn incense unto Baal. So these things right here are spiritually adultery. Ezekiel 16 and 32.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 32. But as a wife that commit adultery.
But who?
But as a wife that commit adultery, which takes strangers instead of her husband.
Let's do what?
Take strangers instead of her husband.
Didn't Adam take a stranger's word over the Most High's? You just came and this guy just pop up out of nowhere and tell you something opposite of what I just told you and you go for it? Read that again.
But as a wife that commit adultery, which takes strangers instead of her husband.
Go ahead.
They give gifts to all whores.
That do what?
They give gifts to all whores.
This leads us and ties in Babylon, or the mother of harlots. Read.
But you give your gifts to all your lovers and hire them.
So this is the spiritual fornication. Let's go back. Exodus chapter 20 verse 15.
Shemot chapter 20 and verse 15. You shall not steal.
You shall what?
You shall not steal.
You shall not steal. What did Adam steal? He did what? He stole from the tree. Sure?
Yeah, it wasn't his.
They stole life. Good grief.
That's a deep
That's
statement.
one right there. Stole life. Oh. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 6.
He was given everything except that.
Right. So when you steal something, what's normally the action when you steal something?
Gotta go in the hide.
Go in to hide it. You try to conceal it. Try to do what? Cover it up. Right? Genesis 3 verse 6.
Bereshit chapter 3 and verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof.
She did what?
She took of the fruit thereof.
So even though it's her, if your friend is robbing a bank and you in the car with him, you guilty as well, right? Because he directly told Adam not to do it. So he followed his wife, so he guilty as well.
That's like, kind of like if your homeboy robbed a bank and you hop in the whip with him and y'all start spending the money together.
Absolutely. You might as well went in there with the mask on as well. Read.
She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open.
And the eyes of them both were open. Read.
And they knew that they were naked.
They knew that they was naked. All of a sudden now, they know that they naked. It told us in the end of chapter 2 that they were naked, but they was not ashamed. Now all of a sudden, they naked. Now they ashamed of it. Read.
And they sewed fig leaves together.
Wait a minute. Now we put fig leaves on. Why are they doing this? Because they're trying to do what? They're trying to cover it up. This is what happened when you get caught doing something in a scandal, so to speak. You try to cover it up. Read.
And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden.
Who could that have been? Read.
In the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves.
They did what?
Hid themselves.
They hid themselves. Wow. All of a sudden you never hid yourself before.
Right.
But now you got a guilty conscience on you. Now you are hiding. Read.
And hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim.
Go ahead.
Amongst the trees of the garden.
Go ahead.
And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, where are you?
Hey, where y'all at? Now he know where they at. Actually trying to give us a chance to come clean. Like David did after he messed up. David came clean with it. Read.
And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked.
I was what?
I was afraid because I was naked.
He was afraid because he was naked. He wasn't before. Read.
And I hid myself. And he said, who told you you was naked?
Who told you you was naked? He already know the answer. Who told you you was naked? Read.
You done ate from the tree?
Read it again, huh?
Who told you you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree? Wherefore I commanded you.
Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? He already know it. Trying to give him a chance to just come clean on it. Same thing when your child got the Oreo cookies all around the mouth and you say, who ate the cookies? I don't know. Listen,
it couldn't have been me.
I'm not going to whoop you. Just tell me who ate the cookies. You know what I'm saying? You already know it's the same thing. Yep, Kennedy ate the cookies.
Now I got to whoop you.
Exactly. You have to be punished. Not only did you do what I told you not to do, you're going to sit around and lie about it. Make the transgression worse. Alright, get me Psalms 24:1.
Psalms, or Telahim, chapter 24. Say verse 1.
Yep, Psalms 24:1.
Psalms 24:1. The earth is Yahuwah's.
Is what?
Is Yahuwah's.
The earth is Yahuwah's. And what else?
And the fullness thereof.
And the fullness thereof. This is my tree. Even though it's evil, it's my tree. I told you don't eat from this one. You stole from this tree. This is why you tried to hide it. Read that again.
The earth is Yahuwah's, and the fullness thereof.
The earth is Yahuwah's, and the fullness thereof, meaning everything on this planet, or this sphere, or this plane, is mine. Read.
The world, and they that dwell therein.
The world and they that dwell therein. So it's even showing you right here, just everything is mine. He stole to get this. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 28. Let him that stole steal no more.
Let him what?
Let him that stole steal no more.
Read.
But rather let him labor, working good, that he may have to give to him that need.
So after Adam stole, he had to do what?
Work.
He had to work. Read that again.
Let him that stole steal no more.
Don't steal no more. Get out and do what? Read.
Rather let him labor.
Let him do what?
Let him labor.
Let him work. And the sweat of the brow gonna be on his face because he gotta work now. Read.
Working with his hands the things which is good, that he may have to give to him that need.
That need. Let's go back. Exodus chapter 20, verse 16.
Shemot, or Exodus chapter 20 and verse 16. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor.
You shall what?
Not bear false witness against your neighbor.
You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. How did he break this one? How did he bear false witness against his neighbor? What you got? I said he did. Oh yeah, Rome said he didn't. Who else?
Yeah, that's the one she's sticking with.
So how did he? Let's get Titus, chapter 1, verse 16. We'll see that Adam didn't actually do it himself, but he went along with it. Titus 1 and 16.
Titus chapter 1 and verse 16. They profess that they know the Most High.
They do what?
They profess that they know the Most High.
They profess that they know him. Read.
But in works,
But
in works, they deny him.
But in works, they deny him. What was Adam's works? Say it again, Martin.
Stealing.
Exactly. Meaning his works, his actions. It was against the Most High. Read that from the top again. 1 and 16.
They profess that they know the Most High, but in works they deny him.
But in works they deny him. He didn't fear, therefore he went against. And he told you, don't eat from this tree. The day that you do this, you're going to die. You're not going to make the 1,000 years out. Read.
Being abominable.
Being what?
Being abominable.
Being abominable. Read.
And disobedient.
And what?
And disobedient.
He was directly disobedient, right? Told directly, the day that you eat from here, you're going to die. Disobedient. Read.
And unto every good work.
Into what?
Unto every good work.
Read.
Reprobate.
Every good work, reprobate. This is what he should have done. Because the devil came in and tried to shift the Most High's character, put a plan into his mind, got him thinking, he must be trying to hide something from me. So all he do is put this question in your mind to make you question. I don't know about this, man. Why didn't he just let him do this? They had everything. This is what he always do. He put a question in your mind. There's a lot of people falling for the question right now.
Absolutely.
This is what he should have done. 1 Peter 5 and 8. So the devil came in and bare false witness against the Most High's character and made them think that it's, he's trying to keep something back from y'all. You know what I'm saying? He don't want you to be like him. If you eat from here, you're going to be just as good as him. He don't want you to be that. You're going to live forever because you're going to be a God. But they didn't even realize that they actually had it already. You had access to what? The tree of life. Read.
1 Kepha chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober. Be vigilant.
Do what?
Be sober. Be vigilant.
Go ahead.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour.
He do what?
Walk about seeking whom he may devour.
Just like he told in Job. Where are you coming from? From going to and fro in the earth, seeking whom he can get. Anybody that he see any little weakness in, he pouncing on you. Oh, wow. Right here, it say that no man can die for nobody's sins. Hey, you see this? What's up with this? How can JC die for your sins?
Oh man, you might be right. It's made up.
They do it all the day long. put a question in these people's mind, and by them not understanding the book, they fall off real quick. And he put that question out here real hard in a lot of quote-unquote Israelites' mind right now. Every day is somebody else saying, I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in no JC. Y'all can keep that. I'll just follow y'all. Obviously, you don't know the book. Genesis 39, verse 7 and 12. He should have resisted the devil and flee from him.
Verse 12.
Genesis 39, verse 7.
Bereshit, chapter 39 and verse 7. And it came to pass after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me.
Do what?
Lie with me.
Read on.
But he refused.
He did what?
He refused.
He refused. Adam and Eve should have did what?
Refused.
They should have refused it. Get away from me. He already told me flat out, if I eat from this tree, we gonna die. Get away from me. They should have resisted him. They should have fled from him. But they didn't do it. They sat there and entertained it.
Should be like that thing on Facebook with Batman.
Absolutely. Exactly. Read.
But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master was not what is with me in the house.
Go ahead.
And he hath committed all that he hath to my hand.
Didn't the Most High do everything to Adam? He committed everything to Adam. He gave him dominion over everything. All was his. The whole earth was his. But he didn't listen. He gave it away. Read.
There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me.
He did what?
Neither hath he kept back anything from me but you.
But you. Only thing Adam wasn't, the Most High wasn't there. But his representation was there. He had everything. But he didn't refuse it. Read.
Because you are his wife, how then can I do this great wickedness?
How can I do what?
This great wickedness.
How can I do this great wickedness? They should have said the same thing. How can I do this great wickedness by eating from here when he directly told us not to? Read.
And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day.
How long?
Day by day.
Day by day. Read.
That he hearkened not unto her.
He didn't listen to her. I'm not paying you no attention. This is wickedness you're trying to get me to do. Read.
To lie by her or be with her.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business.
To do what?
To do his business.
Go ahead.
And there was none of the men of the house that were within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me.
Do what?
Lie with me.
Lie with me. But he know that this is wicked, right? Read.
And he left his garment in her hand.
Go ahead.
And fled and got him out.
And did what?
And got him out.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand, she was and was fled north, that she called unto the men of her house, and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice.
Cried with a loud voice. All out lie. But Joseph did the right thing. He refused to do it. He refused to do it. This is what they should have did. They should have resisted, and the devil, eventually he gonna leave you. Just like they tell you in, I think it's Luke or Matthew, that after he tempted Mashiach, he left, say for a season. That means he coming back. I'm gonna regroup. I'm gonna find another way to get around till you get at you. So he didn't resist the temptation. What the Mashiach prayed for to tell us that the Father keep us from temptation. Let's go back. Exodus 20 and 17.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. You shall not covet your neighbor's house.
You shall what?
You shall not covet your neighbor's house.
You shall not covet your neighbor's house. Who was his neighbor for him to covet their house? Who was his neighbor? So the Most High stayed next door to Adam?
He came to visit.
So they was neighbors. The Most High and there was neighbors that stayed next door to each other.
Covered something that was not his.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you're right. Read that again, Art.
You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's.
Nor anything that is your neighbor's. So like you said, Yah stayed in the garden. He was there. Adam wanted what who had? He wanted what Yah had. He wanted to be like Yah. This is how he coveted it. Genesis 3. Back to Genesis chapter 3. Pick it up at verse 4.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die. For the Most High do know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods.
And you shall be as what?
As gods.
You shall be like the Joneses. You see their mansions and their business and all that stuff? If you come over here and eat this, you will be just as good as the Joneses. You'll be just like them. Just break the law. And you in there. You'll be just as good as them. So by him coveting and looking at the Most High, and he thinking, if I do this great wickedness, I'm going to be just like the Most High. And again, I can imagine Adam is in his mind, he's envisioning how he going to be when he get like the Most High. Let's get Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5.
Bereshit chapter 6 and verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
That the wickedness of man was great, read.
In the earth. And that every imagination.
And what?
And every imagination.
Every imagination, read.
Of the thoughts of his heart was only evil.
The thoughts of his heart was only evil. I'm not going to wait until the appointed time. I'm going to take it right now. I'm going to break the law and I'm going to be like the Most High. I'm going to be just like him. But I'm going to do it by hook or by crook. I'm going to take it. I'm going to get there. Because he imagined what he was going to be like. Remember, he had everything. Psalm 73. Psalm 73. Exactly. We're going to get that too after this. Psalm 73, verse 6.
Psalms, or Telahim, chapter 73, and verse 6. Therefore, pride compassed them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment.
Violence covered them as a garment, read.
Their eyes stand out with fatness.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. Their eyes stand out with fatness. I want the fat of the land. Read.
They have more than heart could wish.
They have more than what?
The heart could wish.
Because they was in paradise. What does Eden mean? Paradise or pleasure. They was in infinite pleasure. Paradise. They had everything that they could want. Everything was right there for them, and they gave it up because you still wanted to be equal like the Most High. And you already had everything. You would already live forever. No need to even do this. Isaiah 14.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse
12.
Verse 12.
Matter of fact, hold that. Get that verse we was talking about. It showed the same thing about the
Same chapter.
Yep.
Psalm 73 and verse 1. Truly Elohim is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart.
Go ahead.
But as for me, my feet were almost gone.
My what?
My feet were almost gone.
My feet were almost gone. Why?
My steps had well near slipped. For I was envious at the foolish.
I was what?
I was envious at the foolish.
I was envious of the foolish. Why?
When I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
So we know that the Most High is not foolish, but he was looking at that the Most High over this. I don't want nobody to be over me. I want to be equal with him. Wrong way to go. We will never be as great as the Most High or Hamashiach. Never. So don't even get that in your mind. Now let's go to the Isaiah 14 and 12.
14 and verse 12. How are you fallen from Shamaim, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How were you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into Shamaim.
I will do what?
I will ascend into Shamaim.
Go ahead.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
And I will do what?
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
Go ahead.
In the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Do what?
I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. And you ain't going to be, you're never going to be equal or as great as he is. Never. And this is what the devil put out there as a ploy. If you do this, you're going to be just like him. Nothing can be held back from you because you're going to be equal with him. You're going to be on the same playing field as him. Through your eyes. Give me 1 John chapter 2. Almost at 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world.
Love what?
Love not the world.
Love not the world. Read.
Neither the things that are in the world.
Neither the things that are in the world. Read.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
The world is the earthly things. Don't mind earthly things. Read.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
The lust of what?
The lust of the flesh.
The lust of the flesh. Hold what you got. Stay right there. Stay right where y'all at. I'm going to read this. Genesis 3 and verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. So the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes is right here. Read.
And the pride of life.
And the what?
And the pride of life.
Go ahead.
Is not of the Father.
It's not of the Father, but of who?
But is of the world.
But is of the world. So, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, this is what they were under. Who did they sin against? Exodus 23 and 33.
Exodus or Shemot chapter 23 and verse 33. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me.
He says what?
They shall not dwell in your land.
They shall not dwell in your land. You out of the garden. Get out. You shall not dwell in the land. Read.
Lest they make you sin against me.
Lest they make you sin against me. This is exactly what Adam did. He let the devil make him sin against the Most High. Since you sin, you don't get to live in this land no more. Leviticus chapter 6 and verse 1. Because when you sin, you might think it's to your neighbor, but it's really against the Most High. Leviticus 6 and 1.
Chapter 6 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against the Most High.
Against who?
Against the Most High.
So if a soul sin and commit a trespass against Yahuwah, go ahead.
And lie unto his neighbor.
So when you lie unto your neighbor, who are you really sinning against?
Most High.
You sinning against the Most High. Read.
In that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or deceived his neighbor.
Or did what?
Or deceived his neighbor.
Or deceived his neighbor. Read.
Or have found that which was lost, and lie concerning it, and swear falsely, and any of these that a man do, sinning therein.
Sinning therein. Who is this sin is against? It's against the Most High. So every time you actually sin, it's against the Most High. Whether you stole something, bear false witness, all these things, he's saying that you are sinning against him. Why is that? Last script, Genesis chapter 9. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 5.
Bereshit chapter 9 and verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require.
Surely the blood of your lives will I require. Read.
At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man. And at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
Read on.
Whoso shed man's blood.
Whoso shed man's blood. Read.
By man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man.
For in the image of the Most High made he man. So when you sinning against your fellow brother, it's like you doing it to the Most High because you are in his image and in his likeness. So every time, again, this would make you think about it. The smallest little thing that you actually might be doing, you really going to be guilty of breaking what? All of them. So with that, we say shalom. Shalom.